right, thank you for staying with the Monday Report Town Hall session. Before we wind up, let's see what you're saying on your videos that you just sent in. Let's play them.
Should learn from our Muslim counterparts. I've actually never seen any politician campaigning in a mosque. And it's very clear to know which church is aligned to which politician.
What's the role of the clergy in ensuring that there is peace, harmony, and integration among the people as we head to 2022 general elections?
My opinion towards that, Trevor, would be like, these guys, the clergymen, they are not fair at all. They are not fair arbitrators because they play both sides of the politics. Whichever politician comes in their various political religion churches, they just play around with them.
My question to the clergy is, why are they so much entangled in politics such that they are always called upon to officiate or grace political occasions by the various political players? Thank you.
Dr. Makanda, I'll start with you. Are we simply being unfair to the church? Is it a perception that is created, or is there some truth to what the viewers are saying?
I think the viewers are Kenyans, and so what they are stating are things that they have observed. Yeah. So it's both perception and partly perception is true. Or you create an impression that makes something look like it is right. Yeah. And so I think that the viewers are right in what they're trying to express. And perhaps allow me to speak up on the matter that you raised there at the beginning. What should we do as clergy in matters of our pulpits? Yeah. I think this is a critical question that the entire church in this country has to sit down and ask, what must we do? And allow me to thank those who have come out boldly and said, let's not allow our pulpits to be desecrated by politics. I think that is a matter of principle. But perhaps what we need to do internally is to ask, how do we prepare our clergy and church leadership to relate with political leaders? Perhaps that's where the problem is. Are they intimidated when politicians come into their places of worship? Are they overtaken by the presence of power and the aura of the semblance of power, so that then they forget that these people have come into church to worship. They have not come to take the place of the clergy. And we want to commit ourselves as the Evangelical Alliance of Kenya to train our clergy and to train our churches, so that then those who choose to do it, they are not doing it out of ignorance, but they are doing it out of knowledge that they are actually doing something that is wrong. Perhaps going to the extent of saying, are there matters that we can put on the table to be able to cancel those clergy who do not want to keep their pulpits sacred? Because within our congregations, you cannot go to one congregation and find people who are aligned to one politician. In one congregation, you find all shades of politics. You'll find all shades of tribes. You'll find all shades of ideologies. So perhaps it is to just educate our people, and we will take up that responsibility. Okay. On the other matter that was raised about gifts and money given out, or perhaps they have been bought, I do not think that politicians are the best givers in our churches. Our churches have existed well before our politician has appeared. In the last 4 years, church has been running and functioning universally, and politicians have not been coming to church. So it is not about money. It is more about the presence of a political leader, and the leader of the church is wondering, how do I relate with this leader? It is possible that my people want to listen to this person, but mind you, the people have come to listen to God, not to a politician. So we want to appeal to our churches and to our leaders to keep the pulpits and sanctuaries free from politics. But finally, allow me to pick up on the matter that our brother has spoken to, and we spoke to as EAK in our statement. The matter of appealing to His Excellency the President and His Excellency the Deputy. They might have differences, and they're entitled to hold different opinions. But they are national leaders. They are leaders of huge multitudes and communities. We would like to implore on them by the mercies of God that keep the belligerent politics and fights and opposing opinions against each other away from the public gala and from the cameras. We would like to ask them if they mind the welfare of Kenyans, if they think that Kenyans are important, to have elected them and put them in the offices that they occupy, that they need to leave the office after their 10 years of service as president and deputy and leave this country united. That they should not break this country before they leave office. We plead with them. We do not want to see bloodshed. We don't want to see bad behavior. We urge them by the mercies of God, and I speak to them as clergy, as a minister of the gospel, that by the mercies of God, desist from speaking at each other and against each other publicly. If you cannot deal with your differences. Thank you.
Chair, is that where the silver bullet lies? If the two top leaders today toned it down, will the country now be peaceful?
I personally, it's not going to be peaceful. It's going to be a gradual process. But they are the ones that have got the switch. They can switch this thing on and off and cool it down or heat it up. As we all know, the tension is very, very high in the country right now. And it's getting high. The temperature is rising. You know, within the same village, you have got two camps that are confronting one another. And when they confront, it's because of the two camps. One camp led by number 2 and the other led by number 1. And you see, differences are always there. Even siblings in the same house will always quarrel on different issues. We appreciate that they are human beings. They'll have different views. The president has got all right to choose whom he's going to support in the coming elections. But whilst he's in office with his deputy, who was elected with him. They were there together. They should respect one another. Okay? And more so, you have to look at the president more than the deputy. The president is the head of state. He is the father of this nation. Everybody's looking at him as a father. Even the deputy is looking at him as the father. So it's for him to come down instead of confronting, pull people together. Sometimes it is human ego that becomes a problem. We have to swallow this in the interest of this nation. A lot of time we say, I will sacrifice my personal interest for the interest of this nation. We're appealing to them for the interest of the nation, for the peace and stability. Number 1 and number 2, this country has a lot of problems. We have COVID, which is killing people daily. Just today, my friend, who was a very close friend of mine, was buried today because of COVID. And every house has tested this. We have got economic problems. We have got people who are starving. We have got the list is endless. Please let us address these things together. Politics will come, let us handle it in mature manner, conduct ourselves with the respect that Kenya has been respected before. We are democratic, we make noises, we make everything, but we are not to be peaceful people. So please promote that peace, calm down, everybody should call off their troops and bring them back and say, look, stop this thing. We cannot confront one another. We are Kenyans, we will talk, we'll resolve, and we'll move forward.
I'll come to you in a moment to give closing remarks, a minute each. Let me read what the feedback we're getting here. Lloyd Onyango says the clergy can't resist the huge money donations given by politicians. That's why they give them platforms to campaign inside the church. You already addressed that issue. Churchill Omondi says religion has been deemed unholy, perhaps economic hotspots where politicians come, perhaps with ripped off money. Why should the religion icons do that? They should tame and admonish the masquerading politicians. The villager Kiprop Steve says, my clergy pia ni hustlers. Let them bargain with politicians. You can't feed your children, pay their school fees with a word of God. Wanacheza kama wao. Paul David says, I feel the church lost it all a long time in giving leadership direction to our leaders. They have joined in taking sides, money laundering activities, and even inciting their congregants as well. We see Manas Omolo says the clergy have things that work. They give politicians the pulpit to spew dangerous propaganda, while on the other hand, saying they want to unite the people. All right? Let's see if I can squeeze in one more here really quick before I take closing remarks. Eve says, if the church is not political, then it is irrelevant to the world that God so loves. But if the church is partisan, it becomes a tool of the empire. Closing remarks, Dr. Makanda.
I think Eve has put it very well. Ideally, neutrality should not be seen as indifference.
Yeah.
But we are talking about neutrality to mean that you are not taking sides. And I think that's what this discussion is about. Yeah. That the church shall not take sides, but the church can never be indifferent, because the church stands for good, stands for what is right. And so for us as the church and as clergy, as we go into this election, we will tell people what is right. We will tell them what is good. We will tell them what to identify in good leaders, so that then as they go to the ballot, they are not thinking about who gave me money, or who is from my tribe, or who has a complexion like mine, or from my religion, but they are looking at the qualities of leadership that will deliver what is good. Because basically, politics and governance is about delivering the ultimate good to the citizens that are governed. And if leaders come in and abuse that right, then it is the responsibility of clergy to raise a prophetic voice. And so the issue of neutrality should not be seen like we are indifferent, but we are saying we shall not take sides, but we will be able to help our people and run a robust civic education within our congregations, within our places of worship, to tell people this is what you look for in a leader. This is what you look for when you go to the ballot, so that then we are establishing a country that is led by people, men and women of integrity, that we are entrenching the values that we have given ourselves in the Constitution, chapter 6 and chapter 10. We are entrenching the national anthem that we sing as a republic, and those things that we have desired and dreamed of as a republic, that this country can actually rise and rise and rise, and perhaps catch up with those nations that were together with this country in the 1960s, Singapore, South Korea, and countries like those that were together with Kenya, and they have taken us, they have taken a leap into the future and left us behind because we have played bad politics. And so the church will take her responsibility. EAK, the Evangelical Alliance of Kenya, that I lead, shall take her responsibility and play her responsibility well.
So truth over neutrality.
Yes.
Chair, closing remarks.
Thank you very much. First of all, what I want to tell Kenyans is that we should do a lot of prayers. We are heading towards the cliff. We are not yet there, but we are on the way. If we don't stop this downward move towards the cliff, then it's going to be very, very dangerous, so we have to do more prayers. Secondly, I want to call upon all the political class. The reason we are sitting and talking here is because of the failure of political class to lead this country in the direction on which we voted them. We gave them the responsibility and we equipped them with everything they needed to lead us for the welfare of the people of Kenya. We are calling upon them, upon each and every one of them to come and acknowledge the responsibility they have and live to the expectations that we expect and according to the constitution of the land. Finally, I want to say that actually we are doing consultation at the moment. It has already started between the clergy, both Muslims as at interfaith level. We cannot be absolutely blind ourselves to the reality that we can see. There is danger which is looming. Whether we succeed or not, we are going to make attempts through prayers and through physical communication to see if we can bring some sense of stability in this country at all the different levels of the political class, from the top to the other ones. Whether we'll be accepted or not is a different issue altogether. But we'll pray and we'll try to engage them to see that we bring some sense into this country.
All right. Gentlemen, thank you so much for making time this evening. Dr. Nelson Makanda, General Secretary, Evangelical Alliance of Kenya, that's EAK, and Abdullahi Abdi, Chairperson, National Muslim Leaders Forum, that's NAMLEF, for having this conversation. And thank you for all the feedback that you sent. There were quite a number of them. We could not squeeze in all of them at this session. I'm sure we'll have this conversation again at some point. All right. On behalf of the entire team that made this possible, my name is Trevor Ombija. It's always a pleasure having you with us. Let's do this again tomorrow, right? Bye for now.
Thank you.
Thank you.